God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will is perfect happiness for me. And I can suffer but from the belief that there is another will apart from His. I can suffer only from the belief that there is another will apart from God's. And also, I share God's will for happiness for me. I share my Father's will for me, His Son. What He has given me is all I want. What He has given me is all there is.
God's will for me is perfect happiness. And I can suffer but from the belief that there is another will apart from His. So again, belief. The belief is not reality. I can only suffer from a belief that there is another will. It's not true. So any time in life, like on planet Earth, that there is distress, there has been a false belief, an unreal belief. The planet itself is an unreal belief. Got the safety in the sandwich. There is no safety. You know, you're not walking on solid ground. We can't find safety in form. We can't find safety in future plans. Realizing this, we can find the perfect happiness that he's talking about here. But the stepping stones, you know, can still allow yourself to use the symbols of the world, you know. You still believe you walk on solid ground, perhaps, but to practice, to bring this awareness much closer, much closer to your being, to your experience. This happiness. The ego has made up that God's will is something to fear, something to dread. That's why there is distractions. But how can it be? How can God have anything to fear? How can God have anything for us to fear? God doesn't know of fearful things. we can allow each little stress to drop away. Imagine it drop away, a little drop drops away. What love has given me is all I want. What love has given me is all there is. If we realize this, there is no more anger. There is no more fear. There's no more concern. There's nothing to work out. It is so peaceful. We can slow down a little. We can slow down a little in our days. Give God a chance. No longer use the external form to hide, to avoid. But let this be used to serve your inward movement. Let everything you feel and see be your vehicle to open up to God. Any communication, any perception, be your way to forgive any old beliefs, anything that doesn't serve. To stay with God. Realize you don't want to give it away. You don't want to give away the most precious pearl by forgetting, by letting anything disturb it. You want to give it away to keep it, give it away to realize that it is yours. You want to share it by staying in it. How can you share true love otherwise? This is why the course is so practical. It's because the mind is a bit lost, you know, when he asks, what do you think a telephone is for? If it is to use for the ego's anything, the ego's fear, the ego's control, roles, then you don't know what the telephone really is for. You know, we can apply this to anything. The table, chair you're sitting on right now, or the bed. Can all be a way to stay in God's love. That's all a telephone is for. Car, a chair, a body. So it takes a reversal of the past way of using things. So we can open up for sharing. If there is any shares here today.
Hi.
Hello.
Feeling fear. Not wanting to speak, but not wanting to speak.
Yeah, and you don't have to speak. Actually, you can let it be spoken if there is something. When you stay with the fear for a moment. Forget that there are people here. Forget. And everything. What are you feeling?
I was feeling touched by what you were saying. It was like felt like I was having to, I think, go back to the old part of me is just get determined, just face it, just do it. And you kind of gave me permission to stop. I feel upset, feel small. Feel exposed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I feel shame.
And you're allowing each of those.
Sorry?
And you're allowing each of those feelings to be seen.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. It's a way to realize you're not any of those. Beliefs. Thank you. You know, each feeling, each exposed, fearful. So those drops, like pearls, the Holy Spirit wants is taking from you as you expose it. So thank you for being so transparent and allowing. It's not who you are.
If I put my attention, sorry, my back's gone tight somewhat. If I put my attention on my breathing and I touch into some calmness. So you said I'm not those thoughts, those feelings. And yet, in this last week, when I've been eating less and meditating more, the neediness or the longing for God, well, it's just nevertheless, it feels it's chronic, it's acute, gets intense, can't I can't necessarily open it.
Well, that is a statement to question. It's true, you can't open it as Peter, but you should. You're not the one that open it. Spirit is. That pressure is there's just too much pressure to think that you can, and maybe you think even there's something wrong with you if you can't. That there is something wrong with the longing.
I feel angry with myself yet again, getting to this point and not being able to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think that feels right, what you're saying. I feel like I draw on part that helped me to survive when I was young. Just be determined. Just endure.
Yeah, I mean, patience is helpful.
Yeah.
Especially when the mind says, no, this doesn't work. That's the time. Persist in patience, because though you're close to the opening, but the ego will suggest something else. It will say, this doesn't work. So go on, wow, the ego will suggest something. That's when I say, well, I'm just gonna be patient for a little more, and then after that, after 15 more minutes, after, because this is, you come up against the same blocks, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I have all those conversations. Be patient. It'll pass, And then another part's that I don't, I really appreciate what you're saying to me. I mean, I feel some light. But I don't want to be codependent either. I don't want to, it's like,
You're not.
I want to find a way through, or the way through, I was going to say, her way through. And I remember David saying once, it really spoke to me. Someone was asking, how do you deal with trauma? And he said, well, just spirit. Spirit will show you, will guide you, will be really gentle with you. And that felt true at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really true.
And I'm not sure if I trust it, but that, it's during the meditation. It's happening right now, Peter. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm sort of frightened of falling apart. I don't know. Just it was suddenly in the meditation, I just had this panic come up. I was sort of, was I sleeping or was I just very still? I don't know. And I just really frightened of the panic.
Yeah. It's a sign that you went deep. You went deeper. It's inevitable that fear will come up. It just needs to come up, It's like a big step forward. One, you get so still that you touch on the fear and the fear comes up. It's the time to be very gentle.
Yeah. I feel very hard on myself for pushing it down too much.
No,
Took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, you need to allow it. And maybe you say a few words to Solveig, you know, or like you're doing now here in the meeting.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can see it go away, you know, it takes Spirit's hand and it's moving through.
Yeah. I could hear, like, from that perhaps I had let go of control. And then, yeah, then I want to control it again. Cool. I'm a bit dizzy now.
Mm.
I want to let go of control. Just get frightened.
Mm. Yeah, you can try. Many steps of letting go of control, you know, try for a moment and you try for another moment.
Yeah. Just feel my jaws tightening and feeling dizzy and energy moving a bit in my arms.
Just allow it all.
Yeah. It's like a mixture of letting go or holding on or something, I don't know.
Yeah, if you can let go of the holding on, you can. You can go over to Åsa.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
Yeah, I also had fear coming up. Sorry, was it not my turn?
No.
We hear you.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, the camera ended up on Peter, so I didn't know if I misunderstood. Yeah, it's when you spoke, Jenny, before, you know, after meditation there. Well, it's the sense I get is that, you know, that it's like the true portal to happiness, the true portal to actually love life and to rid yourself of everything that makes me suffer. And it's the only way. And then I could see that I don't accept God's will, you know, in areas. I hear myself, my head, or part of me screaming, no, it's supposed to be this way or that way. So I had fears coming up and that, yeah. Because you speak about a freedom from form, you know, happiness, that it's not in form, and that's the scary part. And that's where I insist. And of course, if I insist, I'm going to feel fear. And here it is. And for me, this time, the fear is around I don't like it, admitting it. Because I feel so weak and dependent. But I know it's not true. But anyway, so the fear is around my daughter. I mean, nothing has happened. It's just in my head that I scare myself. So I really want to hand that over.
Yeah. Because it seems to be around your daughter, but it's not really around your daughter.
I know. But thank you.
Yeah. But it's a gateway also.
Yeah.
It's actually a gateway. This
Yeah.
dark, fearful feeling, it's
So if it's not my daughter, is it, I mean, what comes up now is that it's what I think I need in my life to feel connected to the love that I appreciate so much, and the gratefulness, and to be happy.
you need to face what your mind is saying is going to happen. What is not that, What,
Say again, please.
yeah. So this gateway to happiness is you have a belief how that is coming, what is the form of this.
Yeah.
And this, but on the other side, there is a darkness. There is something you want to avoid through this way of happiness.
Yeah.
That is the darkness that is being shown for you to just look at.
Yeah. So it's me putting conditions on what should be in my life. And if that ain't there, I put limitation on life, on God and love, happiness. I put demands. I put my will, my idea of what's supposed to be and how to get it.
Yeah. And if it's not there, what the ego is saying, then it's going to be really dark and
rage.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I had so many experiences bringing stuff up and finding this other non-physical dimension to happiness. And at the same time now, when I sit here with this, I feel part of me is just screaming, no. Well, that's how stubborn I am. Or maybe it's not even me, because I remember now when I had something like this coming up with you guys before, you just said it's not you, actually. It's the whole ego. That's what it does.
Yeah.
But you can't hold back the scream and let it go at the same time.
Okay. So I don't want to throw the table out the window. I don't want to give in to this rage. But I sure felt it. I mean.
Yeah, and that's it. Just to let yourself feel it.
Okay.
you know, to scream with Jesus, you know, to let that move through.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will weep each time an idol falls. You know, each time you let go of something that you thought was safe, good, or right, or, you know. And yeah, it's because the idol has been the safety of, but it was
the promise of happiness, the promise of love, the promise of yay, that's where it is.
Is this about your daughter moving out?
No, she's moving. She's gone on the trip with her friends, so she's traveling for a month or something. Yeah, it's not completely gone here. Yeah, I really put our relationship on some sort of pedal that is still there.
Yeah, and you need to release anything that is not helpful, you know, and that's what you're doing now. So, and I'd say it's probably not going to be completely gone today in this session. This may be for a period of time that you keep releasing it, you know.
Yeah, thank you.
And the gold can never go away. The love, the truth will never disappear, you know, the truth of anything, any love that was shared in the past, or any, you know, the seed of truth in the relationship can never be lost, you know, but we're just clearing the habits and the patterns.
And the false beliefs.
Yes.
And the demands on life.
Yes.
And putting my will before God's will. Since I can record this, since I can reflect or watch or hear all this, yeah, I don't know where I was going with it, but I think it's like realizing that yeah, this is the whole core of me thinking I know better than life itself, like the core of my whole, or it's not even mine, but the whole ego. This is what it does. It's not even mine. Oh, sorry, I waited for this call for a week, so I have to take it.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm feeling grief, and this morning I prayed, what is my intention? And it was about to feel true intimacy with God. And all I seem to feel at the moment is just grief and separation from intimacy.
Yeah, because that needs to come up first.
Needs to come first, did you say?
Yeah.
Why
If
does
you
it-
pray, if you pray for true intimacy with God, whatever beliefs you have that are not that will come up first. Can't hear you, Sue.
I just wanted to say it. It's you know, I don't know, it just feels painful.
Yeah.
And there's still this wish, you know, and then sometimes I feel, I don't know if angry is the right word, that, you know, that I haven't been given like a relationship to be in, and but I, you know, then I think, okay, I just want to know intimacy with God, but I
Yeah.
just grief
And that is what you do. That is what you want. You don't want a relationship.
but I think I do, and I think I want both, and then I feel, why have I not been given this really in this lifetime?
Mhm. You need to relax, and you can't even conclude. You know, your lifetime is not ending yet. So you need to relax with this and trust that what you have is what you need right now. You have lovely relationships, you know, even if you don't have a romantic relationship at the moment. And these relationships are helping, but to face this longing, to release this need, you know, you're in a perfect situation. You can read this chapter again in This Moment is Your Miracle, Peace of Mind.
And you know, I think, what do I know? But it seems like the last relationship I was in, just seeing him as a symbol of what he's showing me is, sometimes I just feel that there is still a desire for comfort. And then when that feels like it's a closed door there, then it just seems to show this grief. Seems to be something that,
Yeah, a belief in loss.
Pardon?
A belief in loss.
Yeah.
Believe you lost something that you need. Something
I'd
that
like, or would help, or give me some comfort, or even that I could practice really loving. And I know that I can do that with anyone. I'm just aware that there's still something in my mind about that particular symbol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just wanted to share.
Yeah.
And not hide the grief, and just do what I can to allow it today.
Feels good. Thank you.
As Peter mentioned some fear, and so did us. I feel fear that's been present kind of on and off the last couple of days. I think it's to do with, you know, the steps taken. Yeah, I kind of don't know exactly where I am at the moment. I feel like I'm kind of on the fence between going down or staying up. And not only like there's been some fear, there's, I don't know, it's like this step I've taken has gotten me in touch with much deeper things in my mind that I kind of have been aware of, that I know need kind of healing, looking at, or acceptance or forgiveness. But it's like the last few days, it's like there's just so much unworthiness really apparent in my mind. And how I use others to really put myself down. Mainly you, Jenny, actually. And there's also a despair. There's a despair there that again has been, I think it's been present my whole life, probably since childhood, and, you know. And it's like that is becoming really obvious in my mind as well, and how it plays out in certain, not even going to say situations, but more, it's more inward and more kind of hopelessness about myself, about who I am. Or I can't really explain it fully. I thought I'd just come on here and try and to see what comes, give myself that space.
There is one thing expressed today, both from you, Peter, Åsa, and Sue. It's the same core longing.
For God.
Yeah. And the despair, the fear, the persona really is up for release.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can feel that even here in our group, is like we're going a bit deeper, you know, there's less talking, less practical things, where it seems to be shift.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Distractions are no longer attractive.
Hmm. Well, I don't think I have much else. You know, it's interesting, again, the dreams I had last night. Just deep stuff. Again, my family was there, and I can't remember a lot of it. But then the last dream I had, a white horse literally jumped into the scene with a young foal. It was like a mother horse, and the foal was blind. It was coming towards me, but it walked into a small wall. And I could see the mother was quite distressed, and felt it wanted me to help. And I could really feel the compassion for this foal. And I said, yes, I can help this. I can help this foal. I'm just wondering about the symbols.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, the blind foal.
Yeah.
I could feel it was ready for mind training. It was ready for teaching. And I felt what I'm ready to give it.
Yeah. And I think the foal is you.
Yeah.
And that it feels like a real beautiful opening, that the mother horse came to you with this foal. It was like a new expansion in you.
What?
and you're ready to expand.
Yeah, it was nice to get that. Such crazy other just this happened.
And the white is innocence,
Mm.
power, force, you know, strength.
Strength.
Yeah. And the mother. Feeling of all that, you know, the feeling of being, feeling submissive, or, you know, this frustration you have been dealing with. It all fits. It's like a very helpful symbol in this dream.
It's,
Yeah. Yeah, when you start to have those strong dreams, you know, so many of them, like each night you have something. It's a lot, it's good. Big shifts happening. It's all right.
Hi.
Yeah.
I feel really uncomfortable today in the group here. I'm just aware how itchy I am and how much scratching going on, and I feel a lot of shame. Yeah, shame and embarrassment. And that's up for me at the moment. I'm really kind of seeing situations when it comes up, but also having past memories coming up a lot around shame and embarrassment. And Saturday, when you more or less said that I could allow it, so it's just starting to come up, and I actually started writing it down. Just first I had a thought I would write a novel, and then suddenly I was like, no, I'm just writing it down. So it's just whenever it comes up, just write it.
It's good.
It's intense.
Yeah, just to keep allowing it.
And I think yesterday and this morning early, I wrote both times after intense dreams that I couldn't remember the dreams, like tell what it was about, but it was just, I think it was the same feeling of this feeling exhausted, not by doing a lot of things, but just by all the thoughts about all the judgments. And I think this morning I actually journal when I wake up and stay with it for a while. And I just had this up. I'm kind of negotiating the whole time. Who am I negotiating with? And that must be God. You know, it's just in any situation. Yeah.
It's time to stop fighting with God. Start to collaborating.
Yeah. Feels like it takes a lot of undoing.
It takes a little willingness.
What?
It just takes a little willingness.
Yeah. Whew. And this right now, it just feels my skin and whole body is mirroring these roller coaster rides, and it just then it heals up, and then it heals up, and then
Yeah. Practice gentleness instead of scratching. Practice ask what is gentle, and then follow that. And that looks gentle when you kindly stroking. Just
right. Yeah.
scratching.
I just realized here in this group, I've been really doing this a lot, and I feel the shame. It's so visible. I want to turn off the camera, and I just don't want anyone to see this. To see me.
It's okay. You look with your eyes. Comfort. Yeah, it's relaxing.
Yeah. See, nobody comes with it.
Yeah, that's good. So like collaborating with God, instead of ask God, what is kindness? What can kindness do now? And yeah, keep facing the shame, keep allowing it up. All good. Have you?
Thank you. Yeah, it just feels difficult when you say that. I have this kind of, you need to say the same thing in my mind.
No. Just need to say yes. Receive. Giving and receiving are the same.
Yeah, I just experienced this morning. Peter went down to feed Luro, and he came up with a cup of tea and said he was just felt like giving me a cup of tea. And I said, I actually received it, and I suddenly realized the difference and I even said to him, oh, I was actually able to receive this cup of tea, without this. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, the shame can come out in many situations. So it's really up for release. Beautiful.
Yeah. Comes up a lot. It's good to see it. Even though it's intense. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Karen?
Well, it's quite interesting. I had a dream this morning, and usually I don't remember my dreams, but I think it's brought up because we had a talk some days ago, and I want to talk some more with you about when I have fear, even if I don't know what the fear is about. But this dream was so bright and light, and I was kind of surprised. In my dream, I went to my flat, but this didn't. I have a flat for sale in Denmark, but it wasn't my flat. But never mind. But it was totally white and bright, and there was a window open. And it was so nice in that space, and everything was white except up from the floor. A tomato plant was growing with purple tomatoes, a lot of tomatoes. It was so beautiful. And then I went to the kitchen. All the cupboards were empty, as if I had moved out. Some plates and cups on the table in the corner. I don't know what that was about. And then my daughter came and her new boyfriend. I haven't seen him. He's new, but never mind. And then a man came in the door. And I have never seen him, but I just felt this love. And I think it was Jesus. And he had an apple in his hand, but he has been eating all the peel of the apple. And he went towards me with this apple, and then he put it on the top of my head. I don't know what was going on. And then I had a really good hug, and I felt so peaceful and relaxed. And then I woke up and I thought, wow, that's what I want to feel, just this peace and brightness and light. And
It was lovely. It's also very powerful symbolism.
so powerful, yeah.
There's a newness in you.
I don't know what it's about this apple. I was just wondering about this apple.
Yeah, nourishment, fruit,
Yeah, on the top of my head. So no fear in that dream. So I think I'm ready to take the next step about looking at the go of this apartment, and yeah, doesn't feel so fearful this morning. But I had a lot of fear of just looking at it and talk with you about it. But I think I'm taking the steps now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We take your hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Yeah, miracle dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precious. We have had a beautiful morning together. We will leave you with these gifts and allow both the facing and the expansion. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, love you guys.